Hi, I'm TC. I've just been sorting through my old pictures and sketches and scribbles, and I thought I'd just show you a few of them before I sort of throw them out, decide what to keep and what to throw out. So this is just a little piggy. He's in a little sort of like a little puddle of mud, and he's talking to his little bunny rabbit friend. And I was going to do like a very, very short story with some paintings, like a little kiddie story to put on YouTube. And I never really got around to it, but I thought I would keep this just in case I want to come back to it and, you know, do something with it. So this paper is, as you can see, this is rubbish. This is just those 50-cent scrapbooks, you know, that you buy from Kmart and stuff like that. Well, I think it was 50 cents at the time, but probably about $2 now or $1 now. It's very old. Anyway, that's I like that little piggy. I think it came out really cute. So on the piggy theme, here's another piggy that I was going to put into a story. You can see he's got some balloons attached to him, and he's going to be sort of taking off and sort of landing somewhere interesting. I don't know where yet, so it's just an idea. It's just a basic, you know, little sort of sketch for my sort of stories, which never actually really got off the ground, but they will eventually. I'm sure they will. And what have we got here? And I was just sorting through some of my these, you may have seen some of these pictures already on YouTube, because these are mostly ones that I have actually shown or done videos on in the past, but if you're new to my channel you probably wouldn't have seen them. So this I just used Derwent Inktense, and I absolutely adore Inktense. And it was the simplest little picture, really, really easy. I love doing skies. I really do like doing skies, sort of moody skies. And I can't remember what I used for this. It would have been just Inktense or probably Winsor & Newton or De Lironi watercolours. I have a feeling it's probably Inktense. And yeah, I don't think the colour is really true. It looks like it's coming out all very blue. It's actually got quite a lot of yellow tone in it, but on the camera it's actually coming out kind of bluish all over. I don't know why that is, but yeah, so that's just a little picture that I did, sort of like a little practicing. It's mainly the skies that I like doing, just sort of playing around with skies. I'll just zoom out a little bit. There we go. And this is just, this again is, this is Kmart paper, but it's supposed to be watercolor paper, but it's really not watercolor paper at all. I mean, if you were to go over it a couple of times with a wet brush, it just fluffs up, but it's good enough for playing around with and practicing on. It's brilliant for that, and I wouldn't want to waste my best paper, you know, just messing around, so that's good for that. The little house, lighthouse, that looks better color. Yeah, it's coming out a bit truer. Little man in his little, I think it's called, is that called a sou'wester, a little outfit? I'm not sure what it's called. Yeah, that's just a fun little picture. Nothing special. And another one for my stories that I was going to do. Little bunnies looking up at the moon. I quite like that. It looks nice and crisp on the camera actually. It looks like, you know, it's really standing out, so I like that. You can't see the colour in it though. It's got a yellow moon, and you can't quite see that at all. And there's a lot of rainbow colours down on the bottom. I think you can just see those. I've just got a brand new setup. I've just got a new light and a camera sort of holder thing. And yeah, it's not working too well. As you can see, this is my very, very first time using this setup. So hopefully next time around it will come out better. But I quite like that, and I thought I could use that in a story sometime. And this was just, I don't know what this was. It was just something that I just thought I'd have a practice of doing some roses, which I've never done before. It's just some swirly pretty colours. Again, this is all on, oh, something on the back. This is all on the cheap Kmart paper, watercolour paper. This is actually on one of my videos, this picture here. And I don't like to waste, I was going to throw it away, but I thought rather than waste it, I'll just practice some doodling on the back, and that's why I did these. But I might keep it for a little bit longer. But I think that, I don't know, it's got some kind of, I like that. There's something I like about it, even though they sort of don't look like they're perfect roses. Maybe that's why they look so nice, or why I like them so much is because they look shabby. So I'm quite happy with that one. This is another one that I've done a video on, you may have already seen. I love doing seagulls. I've got a huge oil colour, I've got a huge oil painting on the wall, which I did. I can't show you, it's huge, it's got a big huge wooden frame on it, and it's much nicer than this, and it's like just sea with rocks and stuff, nothing like this at all. It's like a rough sea. I'd say it's in like a sort of like a Turner style kind of sort of mushiness sky in the background. I might take a photo of it later and try and upload some pictures of it, but I love seagulls, and the picture on the wall has actually got lots of seagulls. It's seagulls all flying around a rock with some sea spray flying up, and yeah, so there's my little seagulls. See if you can get in focus. Come on. Doesn't look very clear, but I think you can get the sort of idea. Yeah, you get the gist. So there's that. There's nothing on the back of that one. Now this one might be a little bit, what some people would say is a little bit gaudy and yucky. Now this is a acrylic, and I wanted to do some abstract just for fun, because I don't want to just do one thing, and I have so much fun playing around with different things and, you know, trying different mediums. So I gave the acrylic a go, and I thought I'd do something really bright and colourful. And it's actually, because I keep it in this little, hang on, I'll show you. Because I keep them in these little sleeves like this, in a little folder, little hardback thing here, one of these. It's actually got stuck to the actual, the protective sheet's actually stuck to it for some reason. I don't know why, because I didn't put it in there when it was still wet. So maybe it's just all poor quality stuff, all sort of deteriorating over time. But what I thought I was going to do with this one is, I was going to do a gigantic canvas to put on my wall, a really huge canvas, because it's so bright and colourful. And I think if you've got a great big expansive wall there, and it's really bare, and it's got a nice white background, if you've got white paint on the walls, I thought a giant canvas of this would really brighten up the room. So that's why I kept that, just for that idea. So yeah, and I like the colours anyway, and I do like bright things, so I just thought that'd be a nice cheerful sort of painting to put on the wall, a great big canvas. So that's why I kept that one. And oh, there's just I think that's Inktense on the back there. I think this is watercolours. I think it's it would be Winsor & Newton, because I've got a lot of Payne's grey, and I do use Winsor & Newton Payne's grey because I love it. It's one of my favourite colours. So it's just like a little, sort of like a little sea, sort of like ocean or sea in the distance, and some little houses and things. But I quite like the way that one came out. I like the sky. I love playing around with skies. So I'm very happy. I might actually do a little paint along with this one sometime, and if anyone's interested, maybe let me know in the comments if you're interested. Just another rubbishy thing that I was messing around with. It's basically monotone, but I thought I'd just put a splash of red flowers in, which is just ridiculous because you don't get flowers, red flowers popping up in the snowy, icy cold weather. But it was just, you know, just literally playing around, just doing something different and having fun. And I like doing the skies with just the, you know, the one colour, just sort of playing around with the sort of greys, grey, dark grey, sort of Payne's grey colour. I really enjoy doing that. So maybe I can sort of use that for future reference. You've probably seen this one in one of my other videos. I can't remember what that is. I don't know if that's Inktense or what. I should probably write on the back of these so that I know. But yeah, and I think adding seagulls to pictures really does make or break it. So, and always put an odd number, never put an even number. It just doesn't look right. If you've got 2 or 4, it just doesn't look right. But if you put 3 or 5, or, you know, just an odd number. If you've got a bigger flock of birds, then yeah, you can put an odd number, but otherwise it just looks a bit weird if you've got like just 2 or 4. So that's just a little tip there. This was just me playing around with doing sort of like misty backgrounds. I started with a mountain, very pale mountain, and then I made it darker and darker. Then I decided to put a tree or two in the foreground, and then I was using acrylics at the time, and I thought, oh, I don't know, it's gone on quite thick. It hasn't got that subtle look I wanted. So then I sort of started plastering it on really thick, and I thought that actually looks a bit like a vineyard, doesn't it? And I quite like the way that came out. So I thought I will use that for future reference, and I will try and do a little vineyard or something like that, because even though they're not grapes hanging there, they're trees, but it could still be like a little orchard or something like that. And I just like the whole thing. It's such a shame that I can't get the colour right. It's actually really yellow and warm coloured here, but you're just seeing it as a really cool sort of blue colour. But anyway, I'll try and fix that next time. I'll have to fiddle around with these lights and see if I can get that, you know, more natural, more real colour, more true to life. There's those bunnies again. You probably don't want to see them a second time, but that's the first sort of scribble I did. Just get that out of the way. That's a bit of rubbish. And here's a tip for you. If you do use watercolour and it's not acid-free and archive quality, this is what happens. This is disgusting. It's like it looks like I've spilt tea over it, and it's sort of dried and it's gone disgusting. It's really gone disgusting. And this is actually watercolour paper, but again, this was a Kmart watercolour pad, and so you wouldn't really expect much anyway, not from a cheap Kmart pad. It's good enough to sketch on, it's good enough to practice on, but then just toss it away afterwards, because it's not stuff that's going to last. But it's a horrible yellow. You can't actually see what colour that is. It's actually a really horrible. Let me just try and move the light a bit. No, it doesn't make any difference. But you can see I don't even know what those splodges are. I didn't do those. They were just there when I took them out of the protective sleeve, which didn't protect it really. Yeah. So anyway, that's a good tip there. Don't use crappy paper if you wish to, keep your paintings for some time. I have got more, but I can't find them anywhere. So I just ripped these off my bedroom wall because, sometimes you just like to stick things around the house. And that's these. So this is this is the simplest little watercolour, and I believe I used De Laroni for these. And this is just the simplest little painting. This is probably one of the first ones I started with. And I was thinking of doing a little video for this, a little paint along, or just show you how I did it. So that's going to be coming up hopefully in the near future, if I can get my lighting and everything to work properly. But it's really, really simple. And if you are interested in learning watercolour, or, you just want to play around, then you might be interested in watching that one. And I've also got another one here, so simple, a little snow, the simplest little snow scene that you'll probably ever see. Really, really simple, but when you do these little pictures, and you do actually feel quite satisfied at the end when you sort of look at them and you think, yeah, it's okay. But that was a very, very, beginner picture that I did. And I actually did a really nice one. I couldn't find it anywhere. I did a nice snow scene. It's quite a bit bigger than this, and I put some little skiers in it, in the foreground and in the distance, and it actually looked really good. And I don't know where it is. I can't find it anywhere, and I know I haven't thrown it out because I really liked it. So if you're interested in these at all, I will do a little paint along with these in the not too distant future. And in the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and if you do like my content, maybe you could subscribe. That would be fantastic, because I would like to have a few more subscribers and sort of get my channel growing, because it's not really doing that well, to be honest. But then I don't upload very often because I don't get that many sort of views. So anyway, that's me jabbering on. I'll shut up, and thank you ever so much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye. I wasn't recording it.